Major news dropping this week. We got some interesting stuff going on in retail, big events for raiding and delves, as well as some Legion Remix stuff and the potential of a midnight release date. It's almost all but certain now, and it's way earlier, I think, than any of us expected. So let's just jump straight in. Mana Forged Omega raid buff is increased to 12%. That's right, we're maxing out our raid buff this week. Rank Renown 13. After reset, you'll be able to go on, get this done, kill some bosses, do some delves, or do some Mythic Plus and get this thing ranked up so you can go ahead and reach your maximum level of 12% on the buff. Finally being able to maybe finally clear this thing, getting your AOTC and everything else. You're also getting a little pet, Looker Gaztec Jr. Not sure what this guy looks like, but you can preview him in the game. Yeah, another little pet that you can get. Looks like a little octopus Legion boy, if I had to guess from the little picture here. But nice one there. Also, big week for the Gregs of accounting out there and their Delver's Journey progress. It's a big week for Delves. The Delves bonus event is now live, has returned once again, rewarding eye level 681 gear pieces, champion 1 of 8 if you complete the quest of doing 5 Delves this week. Also, the more important thing right now, because that's 651 gear isn't really that exciting, or 81 gear isn't that exciting anymore, is the increases to your Delver's Journey gains. That's right, 25% increase to Delver's Journey gains, 25% seasonal champion experience gains on Braun Brandsbeard, and a 25% increase in your Undercoin gains. So, big numbers across the board. Good time to do delves. Also, if you complete your little Delver's Journey, don't forget you get the Etheric Brand Morpher, which can turn you into an ethereal who happens to be Brand's biggest fan. That's right, and Pepe, the Dreadlord himself, sitting there on top of your head. So get this while the getting's good. Should be a fun event. Continue to do it all week. Run your delves, get your delves done, and check in with Greg and see how his abusive wife is doing. Unannounced Legion Remix artifact tuning happened as well during reset here, and that is to say, well, they're trying to maybe change the meta right now on your artifact weapons. So a couple buffs to a couple abilities right now in your artifact tree. We had all of these were buffed: Call of the Forest, Twisted Crusade, Narnan's Everdisk, Tempest Wrath, and Vindicator's Judgment. Check your local Wowhead to see if this actually affects what you should be doing, or if you just leave it all the same. I don't know. I'm not going to freaking parse this shit out or figure it out. I really don't care when it comes to Legion Remix. I've just been enjoying the whole thing. But yeah, there might be a new meta when it comes to your Legion Remix artifact weapons. So we'll see how all that goes. So he interacted with you. Yes, okay. My husband is a delver. He hates interacting with humans. Well, there you go. I mean, I think most delvers are soloers in life and in in-game content. A new splash screen. So here we go. This is the big one, guys. And yeah, you're not reading this wrong. We might be getting midnight in January. I mean, I predicted end of February for this expansion to launch, and now we might be getting it end of January. This is a shocker if this is what happens. This is sooner, I think, than anybody predicted. But here we go. We've data mined the new splash screen for the Midnight Pre-Patch event, indicating the expansion will launch on or before January 27th. That's right. Alongside this date are the features of the expansion pre-patch, including neighborhoods, devour demon hunters, and the ominous increase in cultist activity. So we can see those kind of being represented here with the housing stuff. It looks like whatever the world event is going to be has to do with some cultists, maybe some invasions of some sort. And then, yes, your new Devour Demon Hunter spec will be available as well. Fans may recall a similar date was revealed ahead of the War Within pre-patch, which eventually launched 1 week beforehand. Assuming this follows a similar schedule, we can infer that the Midnight pre-patch is likely to launch on January 20th. So there you go. Pre-patch has lasted before. We've had longer pre-patches and shorter ones. Yes, if this follows the War Within style, then we're getting a launch in January. We could still see a launch in February if this is a longer pre-patch, maybe a 2 to 3 week one. Then we could get into February, but we'll see. Screenshot, I'm starting to think March 10th. Screenshot this. I predicted March 10th, Sam. March. No way. It's January. It's going to be January or February at this point, and January looking like a more likely date, again, if this all follows the same cadence as the War Within. So March is extremely late. But there you go, guys. Again, here's the little text, I guess, that you can read with the splash screen here. Cultist activity, the Twilight Ascension. Cultist activity is on the rise. Something sinister approaches. Available January 27th. Neighborhoods, work alongside your neighbors to complete endeavors and earn new decor, and then devour Demon Hunter, a new range specialization, and updates to all specs and abilities and talents. Check them out. So this will be also the update for your classes. So there you go, all of our specs and everything, and you guys already know. The talents changes and everything that's happening with classes is pretty massive. There's going to be a complete rebalance. We could talk a little bit about that here, because here are the patch notes really for what's been happening in the alpha testing. There's a whole nother round of class changes and everything going on. But there's also a bunch of endgame testing happening in alpha right now. So we see really endgame testing. Level 90 campaign chapter 1 is being tested now. Arcanite Visitors quest, Erator campaign, weekly quest, world quest, right? We got endgame world quest being tested. Level 90 activities, Saltharil's Soyer or Soray. I forget. It's a French word, I think. I don't know how to say it. Abundance levels of the Haranir, Legends of the Haranir, Stormarian Citadel, and Amani Abyss. Some more housing testing going on. They're opening up more levels, more rooms, more items, all that stuff. So continue to test that stuff out. They fixed a couple issues with dyes and a known issue with housing leveling beyond level 2 not working. So yes, leveling up your house up to level 5 now will be a thing in the testing phase. Also, the prey system being tested out this week. A new opt-in to the hunting system, Prey, lets you pursue powerful targets across the Midnight expansion zones. Join in the hunt by speaking with Magister Astralor Bloodsworn in the Murderer's Row in Silvermoon City. Here, you'll take on the challenge of hunting a specific target. So yes, the Prey system finally being tested out here. If you don't know, this is like a world tier system almost, kind of adding a challenge mode. And even giving you the ability to fill out your vault with some shit. So this is a way that some people will be able to play. Again, the soloers out there, kind of like your husband, Konisi, and all the other Delve runners. This is another solo thing that they can do out there in the open world now. Once you have a target, you can continue your travels through the zones as you normally would. You will also be able to engage with several new prey-specific gameplay mechanics and unique world quests. Stay on your toes, or your prey may find you before you find them. How and when you detect your prey is meant to be unpredictable, and it could take a number of activities or discoveries before you see them or they see you. Unlock 3 difficulty tiers here. You got normal, hard, and nightmare. While in normal difficulty, other players will be able to come to your aid to help you take down your target in the outdoor world. Once you've reached hard and nightmare difficulties, you'll need to contend with extra abilities on your enemies called torments that make both the hunt and the final fight considerably more challenging. This kind of sounds like the Legion world tier, what's it called? Like the heroic world tier of Legion or whatever, where they add those extra abilities on top of the mobs. You and your friends will be on your own in your final encounter to take them down. No raid groups here. That's right. So I guess groups of 5 is okay, but anything beyond that will not be allowed. Also, the testing of the new world boss, Thorm Bellin, is happening here. The new world boss is encroaching the Bloom located in Harandar. Thornbellin can be engaged with after completing the Midnight campaign and unlocking world quests. So there you go, a little bit of more world boss content going on there. Dungeons also being tested. Enemy damage increased by 10% on normal and heroic difficulty, so a buff there to dungeons. Some delves being tested here, 3 of them it looks like, and then class set bonuses. A bunch of class set bonuses finally being testable now. You'll be able to get tier sets in the testing phase and test that out. And then finally, more class changes happening. Again, if you haven't realized that your class is being changed, you've been living under a rock. There is a ton of shit going down in terms of class updates and everything else. The chat's real excited. You can tell by the activity right now. And what that means is your class is basically going to play completely different from the way it does right now. A lot of these changes are being implemented to kind of, simplify or drop the barrier to entry to a lot of these classes. Again, with add-on removal and stuff like that happening, a lot of rotations have changed. A lot less, monitoring of items, things going on. So, yeah, they're basically trying to simplify your rotations. And hey, the game's coming to Xbox, right? Talked about that yesterday. So, they got to simplify rotations a little bit for controllers too. So we got Death Knights having more changes here. Demon Hunters also getting more changes. Evokers, Hunters, Monks, Who else we got? Priests, rogues, and finally warriors getting additional changes on top of the previous changes that we've talked about before. Professions are also now testable in the alpha test, so we'll see more about professions probably in the coming weeks. So there you go. Also, did I see that? Nameplates being testable. Updated nameplates. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Server default values and nameplates have been changed, including size, default style, legacy style. So there you go. More accessibility options, more add-on replacement options happening there. So a lot of testing going on. I'll link this article in the chat and down below the video, as I always do, so you guys can check out your class-specific changes here happening. But that is all for the testing stuff going on right now. Warfront housing decor. I didn't even know Warfronts were going to be a thing again. But evidently, there's going to be housing decor related to Warfront currencies. So people will be queuing up for Warfronts again. People have evidently thought that the cost of these items was way too much, almost as much or if not the same as the mounts. So Blizzard agreed. They lowered the cost of these things. So if you're a Warfront Andy, you enjoyed Warfronts, I guess you can get some decor items from there now too with some of the currencies. So there you go. And then finally here, 12.1 being teased. That's right. We haven't even gotten the expansion yet. We're talking about the next patch. New tier set icons, at least for the Warlock. By the way, the Warlock set for the first season, unbelievable. It already looks like, just based on these pictures, the Warlock set, again, is going to be fantastic. Look at that freaking helm. Unbelievable. Warlocks always get good sets. But right now, it looks like some interesting teasing. We've talked about this before, of this foggy island off the coast of the new Amani troll lands, so of Zul'Aman. So looking over the coast there's this foggy island that people can't get to, and it was previously titled the Isle of Fangs in testing, but now it's called Atal Utek, interestingly enough. So what does that mean? Well, this Midnight Story thread, says it's not the first time we've heard of Alatek either. In the now non-canon Warcraft role-playing game from 2004, Olatek was a massive serpent goddess, worshipped by the Amani Forest trolls, with her temple being the original capital of Zul'Aman. Cultures from distant lands speculated that Olatek was actually an old god in disguise. That's right. Could we see the return of old god lore for the first time in Midnight in 12.1? Maybe. The Warcraft RPG is no longer canon, but a new canon has been created, a similar creature in the origins of the Amani culture. Back during the Troll Wars, the capital of Zul'Aman was built upon the corpse of Kithix, servant to the old gods and leader of the Aekir. Perhaps with time, the truth of Kithix faded into legend and became what is known now as Utalek. So interesting. So yeah, more old god lore coming up. Zul'Aman is not currently touched on this history, nor the mystery of the island, but with the renaming of the new raid icons, it seems that the distinct possibility that Atal Utek will be the location of the upcoming raid. What do you think about this encounter? I mean, this makes sense. By the way, if you didn't know, and this is not really a spoiler yet, I'll just say the finale of the quest line leaves you as the player character and some Amani troll leaders looking at this island, off into the distance, talking about the island. So yeah, most likely this island will be our 12.1 patch. I'd be down for an Amani Troll 12.1 patch. I think Amani Trolls are cool. I think their culture's cool, their architecture's cool, and their stories are cool. The one thing I'm wondering is, yeah, we could be getting Old God returning and everything else, but could we also see Buon Samdi returning? I mean, I'm just saying, we're getting some Loa lore, right? We're getting Troll lore and everything else. Could we get... does anyone else want to see Buon Samdi return? I want to see him return. I just want to hear his voice actor's voice again. That guy was fantastic. I'd be down to see more Troll lore, more Loa lore, and yeah, a Troll island off the coast of the Zul'Amani tribes. Why not? This would be a good one. Nope, yep, we'll see. That is all in terms of news.